VRchat got way worse. The only thing I know about VRchat is it's full of weebs and it's full of furries. That's all that I know.
So a year ago now, I made my first video on VRchat, basically going over the game, the good, the bad, and the mounting ugly. And overall, what...
That's crazy. What we're 10 seconds in. That's crazy. Already a shot has been fired. A shot has been fired in the building! The second tower has been hit!
What the game was and its rep.
Yeah, that's wild, making that shot straight away with the fat Cortana. I mean, would, but also, like, what? You don't have to be firing shots that early in the video.
Reputation. And ever since that upload, I've been occasionally sprinkling in VRchat content every now and again, like your roommate does estrogen into your food. Believe me, I don't have a problem. It's just this game keeps surprising me.
Verified toy? What does that mean?
I do know as well, apparently, like, there's a huge substance problem inside VRchat. Like, people are just, like, always smoking weed or, like, always drinking and stuff.
Means that if you want to have a good time with me, you can.
And as I've stated before, I'm a professional in this subject, as within the years of 2017 to 2021, I was an active
They do hella drugs on VRchat. Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about it.
player of VRchat that
Like, I know people that are furries and they use VRchat, and I'm very happy for them, because some people genuinely use it as a social outlet, right? Like, they might not be able to get outside as much, and then they use VRchat. Not a problem with that at all. Like, more power to you. But I think there's also a lot of degeneracy in it as well.
accumulated 3,500 hours on the platform.
Oh, no.
Show the size. I already shown one on stream on accident like 8 months ago. Just go find it.
No.
First of all, before you express your disgust towards me, most of those hours were from COVID.
Age verification is paywalled behind VRC+. Okay, so just to make sure you're not breaking the law, you have to pay money. Okay, that makes sense.
And second of all, I don't want to see any feces flinging, especially from the War Thunder community. Yes, it's more respectable to have the same amount of hours in that game, but it
No, it's not. Nice cope there. Nice cope there. No, it's not.
is extremely difficult to resist inputting your card information and funding the Omnissiah
No, it's the 4 FPS gameplay.
snail to prevent yourself grinding from 2 to 3 months just to get your first front jet wheel. And even if you do get your first jet legitimately, you will proceed to get anally fisted by the majority of players that have invested their 401k to get the latest jets that have yet to have their blueprints leaked to Reddit to prove a point in a rather menial argument. Once again, only slightly more respectable than VRchat. But anyway, I digress. Drag up a chair, let your friends and family know you're going to be absent for the next few days because your feces porthole is going to be arse blasted. With so much disturbing information about this game, you may need PTSD
Is VRchat as bad as Second Life? There's no way, right? There's no way it can be as bad as Second Life.
therapy afterwards. Because a lot has changed since that first video. And similar to 2018, VRchat
Was that Ugandan Knuckles? That's a throwback.
has once again been pushed into the limelight of the internet with an ever-mounting erosion of its reputation. And if you're playing games like CSGO with your game hours publicly shown, and you just missed that Mirage mid-window smoke, your teammates are going to be using that as ammunition to bully you. Because VRchat is still the worst. First, I think VRchat needs no introduction. But I'll give you the cliff notes, as every time I make a VRchat video, I feel like I'm regurgitating the same foul information verbatim.
Played these games before!
But VRchat is known and advertised to be a platform where you can communicate and make friends with other people.
Is there anyone on this game that isn't like a furry or a weeb? Is there actually anyone?
Through the virtual
Like, I know me of all people should not be taking shots. I understand that 100%.
world, but it is currently more infamously known for, sorry, just let me get the list. A majority of players being children, virtual prostitution, to the point where I worry for the future, where those advertisements on NSFW websites saying they will massage your prostate and make you bust within 5 minutes are replaced with VRchat avatars piloted by God knows who.
They always have huge thighs, the furry characters in that game.
And related topics, dating, influencing drinking and drug use, terrible moderation, and just being cringe. all of which people outside the VRchat community have this perspective of
Was has-been hotel characters. And hell of a boss. Great. You know what, actually, I can't say anything because everyone on Twitter is simping over that jester guy that juggles at the minute.
this game, and that thought process is not exactly an illusion, but I'll talk
I love the best kind of people in VR chat, the shit posters. I remember like people that would run around with the just had to do it to impose, and it was like a 2D cutout.
about each later. But VRchat was initially released in 2014, and as of recently,
It's over 10 years old. Was it really released that long ago? I swear it was like 2017.
it is available on
I'm actually racing to the coffin, man.
multiple platforms, such as PC, Quest.
Was that hype?
Recently is
No one seemed to acknowledge the hyper-realistic Steve on the right corner there.
available on multiple platforms,
Look at that. Why is there just hyper-realistic Steve?
such as PC, Quest, and now phone. Yes, phone, meaning you are only a few clicks away from your virtual Vietnam. But VRchat is advertised to be a game, but I would argue it's more of an
The Smash Leak Steve. Oh, that's what it is.
experience. The primitive version of Ready Player One, and a testbed for the first fully immersive metaverse, because it's evolved tremendously since its first release. Because it used to be a game where people would only get on to play the mini-games, which are now Desolate Wastelands, God I Miss You Freeze Tag, Murder 2, and Town of Salem. But the player base now from previous years treat and act like
Okay, so they don't actually use VR chat for the games. They just, because people just use it for socializing, right?
this game is a reality. A lot of the player base since 2017 can now be found huddled around a mirror, taking
Okay, let's have a look at Steam charts. I'm very interested here. I'm very interested here what we're looking at. Holy! There's been like no drop of a year. Wow. Oh my god, it's just gone up. That's mental. That's like the opposite of a dead game. Dude, it's just going up. It's going up every... What? Dude, lockdown was 5 years ago, guys. You can go outside now. That's crazy. I had no idea that was so popular.
taking part in socializing,
It's like over 100k daily. That's mental.
and a small percent becoming self-loathing narcissists who will not spend an atom of a second in a world if there is not a mirror in it. People have begun experimenting with their avatars, where a majority of female avatars are actually piloted by males.
Hang up that computer call.
That is definitely, yeah, I can imagine that.
Come over here and
Come over here, kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling
kiss me on my hot mouth.
Primarily due to the fact female avatars have a lot more work put into them than male avatars for what?
Thank you, Dell, for the 10. As a massive, well-known GWS fan, do you think Toby Bedford will have a breakout season? Yeah, I do. Mate, whatever I'm saying so you keep giving me more money.
Whatever reason.
Holy. Okay, no, I get that, though. I get that. No, I get that. Stop gooning! Stop gooning!
And other reasons being they just want to look at a female model, which is the highest form of copium, and
Yeah, no, that's a cope, I'll be honest. That's like the people that play female Shepherd in Mass Effect. Because they say they want to stare at a woman's ass for 20 hours, not a man's. It's a cope.
because, you know, they're just experimenting. Just put the thigh highs on already, buddy. But a majority of female presenting avatars are actually guys. My source is this disheveled middle finger, and trust me bro, I am an unfortunate expert in this field. As VRchat is a community-run game, it has opened its arms for a plethora of communities, predominantly being the LGBTQ and furries, with community world
You just said furries twice. Lamau.
and now groups which help people identify you're a part of that group, which that feature has now also been used for ERP, or erotic roleplay, which the only roleplay happening is the facade you have an active sex life. ERP, which I've mentioned too many times on this channel, and have unfortunately unwillingly been educated on the topic to a disappointing degree, and is more prevalent on the platform than it is
I love men whimpering. Don't take that out of context. I was reading what was on screen.
ever been.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What is that, Private Pile?
with most players knowing about it and about a third partaking in it. ERP is basically NSFW activities involving 2 or more people in VRchat, where instead of the worry of pregnancy, you're worrying if your neighbor can see you hip thrusting the air through your window like your life depends on it, or you'll be worried if your bespoke device for the situation can last all of 5 seconds to last the entire session. Yes, there are devices that link to your avatars and interact with your genitals to the point where the companies that make these...
I have seen these. Apparently there's people that can get full body sensors, because you know how most people just have a headset and little hands? Apparently you get like a full body suit that like actually creates sensations and stuff. It's crazy.
Products have identified that VRchat is a gold mine and sponsor a lot of social events and clubs within.
Dude, I keep thinking like I've descended into complete degeneracy, and then stuff like that exists. Like I'm not even doing that bad, bro.
VRchat. Social events such as clubbing and dancing is very popular on the platform, and with things such as full
New dono goal? What do you mean by that?
body dancing and now eye tracking makes the activity even more immersive. But most people with full body track.
Our future's looking goony. I'm not even doing a bit. I genuinely think like birth rates are gonna absolutely tank because of stuff like this. Genuinely. What are we at now? 8 billion people? We'll never reach 9, I don't think. Or we'll never reach 10.
King, just sit down with it anyway. Lazy bastards. And it has been used in ERP. Going back to ERP, did I mention there's dating apps
Birth rates already through the floor? No, I know. They're gonna get worse.
now for this game? With a Tinder-like aesthetic, where the dating platform doesn't even allow you to upload IRL pictures, and have been used for things like one-night stands.
Would you really upload a picture of yourself onto VRchat though? Like an actual image of you? That's not a good idea.
And successful relationships.
I mean, you're gonna get wholly catfished, but still, like, regardless. Thank you, Delbro, for the 30. Okay, bro. Are you like a player for the team? Because you got way too much money, bro. You give me like $200 now. This was very expensive, but if you support Saints in the AFL, I will give you 150 squid. Anyway, watch NerdCube play Mirror's Edge blindfolded. Oh, I love NerdCubes. He still makes videos. That guy, I love that guy's videos. Yeah, I support Saints. I support Saints. I do. Saints all the way. Give me £150 now, please. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The last
Dude, you either stole Mum's card or you put everything on red tonight and you won.
part may have been a lie, because after watching the VRchat HBO documentary, yes,
The same people that did The Last of Us, by the way.
HBO, responsible for the monoliths of shows like Chernobyl and Band of Brothers, and more recently Penguin, did a documentary on VRchat where I'm convinced only a handful of relationships on VRchat actually work out.
We are 5,000 miles apart, but we're gonna try our best to make it work.
They broke
That is actual Second Life behavior, though.
up.
I don't see a problem if you find someone to date on VRchat. You know, like 2 consenting adults and stuff. I don't really see a problem with that. People will call it sad and stuff, but it's like, I think in the age we're living in now with, like, you know, how people meet online and stuff, I don't really see much of a problem with that. But I think what happens is, in a lot of those cases, the relationship is usually based off, like, some kind of, like, sexual trait or something. And then as soon as you leave the VR world, that just won't be fulfilled.
And if you're about to comment that you and your virtual girlfriend that you've been dating for a week are actually going to work out, she's probably getting her back blown out like a Panzerschreck right now on VRchat. And also, do not visit H Party. It's a world for deviants seeking out this activity, and for some reason, the Japanese. And then we have the Quest users, arguably the downfall of VRchat, and the sole reason it has so many shortcomings now, because before 2021, all of the nations of VR...
Oh, Nick out, you're here. Yeah, you're a VRchat scholar, right? You've probably got like 4,000 hours on it or something. I don't think VRchat is the worst thing in the world. I can't imagine it's all bad, but there's probably a lot of degeneracy on there.
Chat lived in peace until the nursery attacked, and the servers were flooded with children who had acquired these standalone headsets that did not require a bulky PC to run the game.
Do you know how many kids play like free-to-play VR garbage? It's like all those kids being harassed in like Among Us VR, and then when you accuse them of being the imposter, they just start crying.
And parents were unknowingly buying them a piece of equipment that would expose them to all the things I just mentioned, and things...
I'll be honest though, like I'm not even doing a bit. When you're a kid online, it's really dangerous. Like I remember like when I was a kid, the first online interaction I had was Saints Row. Saints Row multiplayer. That's how old I am. That's how decrepit I am. And I remember, like, that was my first introduction of the N-word. I must have been, like, 12 years old, 11 years old. My first introduction of racial slurs was through Saints Row.
Things like grooming, which is notorious on VRchat and has been well documented, but also made VRchat a place where people over the age of 18 are a minority, and being screamed at by a prepubescent teen in a lobby is a majority. But that is VRchat, and believe it or not, there are a lot of positive.
You got groomed? Well, yeah, that's definitely worse than being taught to say the N-word in a Saints Row lobby.
Of the game, such as communication and being able to make friends. But there are an ever-mounting plethora of disadvantages and negatives of VRchat, depending on who you surround yourself with. And ever since my previous...
Check the thumbnail. That's not even that bad. I thought it'd be like Hatsune Miku Milkers or something. That's not even that bad.
Video, things about the game have changed and come to light which are borderline deplorable, and some added features that may be a positive for the reputation of VRchat. Now, a rare victory for the VRchat moderation team, something they have been...
The only thing I know about VRchat is if they don't like your avatar, they end up just kicking you. They end up just kicking you out the game. Nerd Cubed and you are the only UK people I know. You don't know who KSI is?
Starved of for consecutive years, in December of 2024, they announced age verification, something that would counter arguably the biggest problem of VRchat. And not to go full Anakin Skywalker, it was the children. As even though a
average player with 100 hours on Death Stranding. He's trying to find any fun in the game.
Majority of the community would say this is an adult game, it only had the age rating of 13, and led to somewhat of a grooming epidemic, where it has been well documented there are individuals that have groomed and manipulated children on the game, even the existence of things like grooming rings, and adults that have courted minors into relationships to exploit them, some of which happening in the public lobbies of VRchat where they show no shame in what they are doing. And once again, this has been well documented. There are plenty
doing it in a public lobby is fucking crazy, by the way.
For videos of individuals that have been doing these activities, such as the most infamous example, which we've talked about before, Tech Gangster.
13!
You know what? You know what's funny? I'll still jack off to them.
And is known throughout the lands of VRchat for his deplorable actions, and the fact that the
How does that guy exist for real, genuinely?
VRchat team does relatively...
Why did he say it like it was an own? Nice one, mate. Yeah, that was... Oh, what a burn that was.
Nothing about it. The VRchat team had as much involvement as the local cuckold lord, simply just watching it happen. All they will do is ban Moby's alt accounts at a snail's pace, and within that time he's probably made another alt account because he has not been hardware banned or IP banned, both of which
I mean, even that, like, just get a new PC or get a VPN, you'll be able to bypass it. Like, it's not enough.
can be circumvented, but no attempt
Just no shame. Yeah, that's the worst thing.
has been made, possibly due to the reason that most VRchat mods are volunteers. They do not get paid for this, especially people moderating the Discord.
I could not imagine being a VRchat moderator. Like, you actually have the worst job in the world and you do it for free. That's crazy.
Because for some reason these people wanted to be internet janitors, most likely getting paid well below the poverty level, to the point where they sustained themselves on McDonald's sauce packets and self-approval, and most of them got this opportunity through being a part of the community before. The most notable being Tupper, the said to be face of VRchat, and someone on the level of something like a head mod. But before age verification was implemented, it actually fell more into the responsibility of the groups of VRchat, who in their own group instances would do age verification, but were very limited to asking people as soon as they joined their age and date of birth.
February 25th, 2006.
When I learned 2004 to 2006 people aren't unborn sperm cells anymore, and I'm getting old.
Hoping that if they were a minor, they did not know simple math. But I bring this up because the VRchat team aren't the most innocent themselves. I'll talk about that later, but as of right now, 10 plus years of the game existing, and they finally discovered rock and stone and decided to announce age verification, which is a process where you download.
I can say it becomes degenerate very quick. One night I had an epiphany while in chat and stepped outside my body and realized how fucking cringe and sad it was. I felt shame so hard that I haven't touched it since.
That's crazy. That's actually like a baptism by fire thing. Like having that much that you just like quit VRchat entirely.
Download an app and show your credentials and government IDs to verify your age, and to verify you are over the age of 18 years old biologically, but probably still have the mental capacity of a toddler, but you will need to submit a picture of your ID and a picture of yourself. Then you will have a badge on your VRchat profile showing you are over the age of 18. And things like adult instances will be available to you, and people that are not age verified will not be able to join these instances or worlds, meaning you can goon to your heart's content without traumatizing a child. I can't wait for the plus 18 public orgies to start. Obviously this system isn't 100% safe, you can use somebody else's credentials I guess, but it's a step in a good direction and there's only so much they can do. But the system as of right now is still in testing and is not readily available to every user. Right now it's
Delbro for the 10. It's 5 AM in Australia. Research how historically terrible Saints are the AFL, and I'll get back to it later, like in a bit.
only available to people using the group feature of VRchat and in
Thank you for all the money you've gave tonight. I appreciate it. You've gave way too much. I can tell you're definitely like drunk or something, or you've just like won the lottery.
the larger ones. Groups that you can join through the game and display above your head, like the Arizona Tea group, the Daddy Marks fan club, or even the free use group, because everyone needs to know you're a walking, talking fleshlight. And this feature, along with the NSFW toggle they added recently, is their first attempt
How many VBs have you had? I'm on my 5th one. This is my 5th VB.
at trying to protect the children that use VRchat. But even though VRchat moderation has had a slight reputation boost from this, and are no longer considered to having a workload equivalent to any HR role, but the VRchat moderation team still has the reputation of summertime liquid dog feces, and rightfully so. As recently within VRchat itself, by chance on a midnight rooftop world, I got to meet Verum, who must have been very confused by my avatar. But Verum is a VRchat content creator that focuses on the degenerates and predators of the virtual world with a cinematic aesthetic, and told me he doesn't even monetize any of the videos, so he makes virtually no money exposing these people. But we got talking and he told me about a video he did with Brandon FM, someone that does similar videos but applies it to the broader internet. And from the release of that video, it was age restricted not too long after, which means its growth was stunted from the get-go, and not a lot of people got exposed to that video, so make sure to go check it out, because they did a deep dive on the average VRchat user, with surveys and statistics that definitely impacted their own mental health, and lo and behold, the average VRchat user is a degenerate. Quite possibly no surprise there. But they also looked at the mods of VRchat, from the Discord mods to the actual mods, including such people as Tupper, and the results were horrifying. Some of the Discord mods were found to be doing intimate activities in public instances with modified lolly avatars that had genitals added to them, and the same person had a video recorded of them ERPing in it, in which during a live streamed community event for VRchat with a large amount of people watching online and in person in the instance, someone would find a way to modify one of the video players and show everyone present the video, including Tupper, who either found out because he was there or watching the live stream. And some more information on the moderation team not taking criticism very well. But in the previous mentioned moment, the head mod Tupper had seen one of the people entrusted with making VRchat and its community a safe place, and been provided with a whole Google Drive showing how this specific mod wasn't doing very mod things, including the intimate activities in public instances, which could potentially have children in it, arguably the demographic that should be protected the most. And all he did was look at the Google Drive for 12 seconds, proven in the video, and then basically said there's nothing he can really do about it, even though he has the highest permissions in the Discord, and this person voluntarily administrates the Discord. And even though he says he can't ban people within VRchat, was responsible for and got credit with banning the people that were showing the video in front of the live audience, which, to give him the benefit of the doubt, doesn't show he has this power but has some part in it. And conveniently enough, after the video made by Brandon FM and
It's videos like this that I just never want to use VRchat, genuinely. It's actually crazy.
Verum was launched, the video showing the average VRchat user and the people moderating them, I would be told by Verum himself that the time and effort they put into this video, gathering all the information and statistics, that video did a lot of good for the platform, but not in the way they would expect. The VRchat mods were forced to recognize the video, which indirectly helped with updating the report system and the public outcry for age verification, which 6 months from the release of that video is now in testing. They would also take action against the mods recognized in that video, but they were not banned, they were just temporarily removed from the moderation role, because they investigated themselves and found nothing wrong. Now it's
They investigated themselves and found nothing wrong. Why have I heard that so many times?
really funny and worrying the fact that they only recognize this now there's a
Play with your own group and your VRchat experience will be better. Yeah, I think doing a public lobby is just always a bad shout, honestly, with stuff like this.
video about it. And even Tupper himself looked at the information for, once again, 12 seconds, but only did anything about it when there was a full video made about it and they were dropped in hot water. And those people are still mods to this day. But even more surprising and worrying, for some reason they would ban Verum from the official VRchat Discord and would have done the same with Brandon if he did not have a different name for seemingly no reason. And some of the messages talking about Brandon FM after the video are removed, but the ones critiquing him are left up. A moderator is supposed to set a good example and protect the users of their community from people, especially one who is still making alt accounts to this day and causing havoc on the platform, and investigate things given to them by their community to further the goal of protecting users and improving the reputation of the platform as a whole, not just supposedly looking at a Google Drive link for 12 seconds. But that is the VRchat moderation team.
Michael! Don't leave me here! Michael! Michael!
Now recently there has been a new increase in people watching VRchat content, mainly the trolling videos.
Wake up.
Why?
We're gonna go on a date, me and you.
Oh,
I've seen so many of these videos on TikTok and it is just always the most awkward interaction imaginable.
you're already okay.
Oh no, I'm not European with you.
Especially from YouTubers like Proximity
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy I keep seeing on TikTok. Like, his videos always do so well.
Chat, Ratgrave, and maybe even Mesa Mayo. Or maybe you've been looking at the live streams of people
There are people that sleep in VRchat. Is that a thing? How can you sleep in VRchat? Like, with the headset? That's not even comfortable.
like the last bastion of VRchat, Rafflegator, who is still making innovative content within the VRchat platform and unknowingly making viral meme content like this.
Whoa, what the hell? Hello? Ah, hi.
Kill yourself.
What the fuck is this thing?
I'm an Anomalocaris.
What do you do?
I do my best.
That thing was the first Apex Predator, by the way. But especially for the rising audience for these YouTube videos, it is a window into VRchat, where most people that would have never been introduced to VRchat see it for the first time, and normally harbour a very negative opinion towards it, because in most of these videos you see people that take this.
They have darker worlds for sleeping? Oh, you mean like it's an actual dark room, so like their eyes adjust and they can sleep? Okay, that's different. That you are built different if you're doing that.
This game way too seriously, like it's real life, and I'm not even talking about Phantom Sense.
Move, bro. Can you like go somewhere, please?
Why?
Why are you being so fucking nosy, bro? Because I fucking told you to, bro.
Oh.
Mutahar slept in Minecraft in VR because he had insomnia. Is that real? I mean, if it helped him, fair enough.
What do you mean?
No, I'll move for sure.
You have people that do depraved acts in public lobbies.
Are you playing with those? Bro, are you playing with those?
This is my girlfriend. If I want to mess with her, I can.
You have people offering depraved
The voice definitely matches the avatar.
acts in public lobbies.
I'm an escort, so I kind of do this for pay for people. It's 25
If
bucks
you
for
find a good position, sleeping in VRC is actually pretty nice. Plus it's really surreal waking up as your avatar. I've done it a handful of times and it can be really nice if you find a good world for it.
Thank you, Tipsy, for the 10. You are very brave for admitting that in this chat. I will be honest with you. You are very brave. How do you sleep comfortably, though? Like, you've got this big fat head. That's like sleeping with headphones on. Like, I just couldn't do it.
Entire hour.
It shows people getting constantly inebriated.
I can't see my menu.
Do you need like a chiropractor or something?
Borderline creepy activity.
It's complicated.
Right, but I caught you with your red rocket out.
To the point where there's a VR chat to catch a predator.
Just wondering real quick what
There's actually so many of these in Roblox as well. It's mental. Thank you, LeBron, for the 11.
33-year-old man, what business you have talking to a 16-year-old girl?
Drinking alcohol on VR chat is fun as fuck, I hate to admit. Well, as long as you're in control. But I've seen multiple furries come out on Twitter saying, like, the community's got a substance problem. Everyone's getting too drunk.
Children.
Excuse me?
Who's this?
I'm his child. What the f are you on about?
I really doubt you're his child.
I'm his VR child. Leave me alone.
And it shows people that may be a little too addicted to VR chat.
The longest he played this game for without stopping.
When I first got my headset, I used to play for like a whole ass day, and I'd fall asleep in VR, and I'd wake up and I'd play more.
It would be totally unfair to say every VR chat lobby is like this, and that your first VR chat lobby is going to look almost identical to it. Rest assured, the people recording these videos had to at least spend an hour on VR chat.
People encourage each other to black out in VR chat. That sounds very safe, definitely.
And go through only 3 public instances, because it's a little over a third of VR chat that are like this, because all the sane people have been pushed into private instances. Because believe it or not, VR chat isn't the most healthy influence. Once again, going back to Verum's and Brandon FM's video, they did a survey of over 1,000 VR chat players, showing that a lot of them are addicted to VR chat, do things like ERP, and are just overall lonely. Yes, VR chat is a...
I mean, yeah, that was to be expected. There would definitely be... I mean, we're in that generation now, definitely, where there is a loneliness epidemic as well. You know, people will just say, oh, it's only in Japan, but no, it's genuinely everywhere. I think lockdown contributed to that quite a lot. Like, a lot of people really never recovered from that.
Social game where you can speak to people all over the world, make lifelong friends and have fun, maybe even find a relationship. Just don't tell your parents you found them on VR chat, because the adoption papers will be coming rather late. But what I'm finding increasingly common is it is not good.
It helped you? Oh, socializing helped you. Or do you mean socializing in VR chat?
For you. Even people that disliked social games before, and or social interactions in general, get addicted to the environment that is VR chat. It may be a result of wanting to make new friends constantly, a good time they had in their early stages of VR chat they're trying to recreate, or even chase, or even the social environment of VR chat itself, which they may have not experienced outside of the headset.
VR chat doesn't help anyone unless you have social anxiety.
All of which I
mean, yeah, it could help people like that to socialize.
Just mentioned can cause addiction to the game, and if they don't find...
My social anxiety is even higher in VR chat. I don't know how people get addicted. Yeah, it's weird, because, like, I feel like if I went into VR chat and I spoke to a stranger, I would probably find the interaction very awkward. But if I spoke to someone in the street that I didn't know, that would be so much easier for me. It's weird. It's because there's a barrier. It makes it harder. It's hard to explain it.
Any of those things can become lonely or depressed. It's to the point where people take this game too seriously, getting on the platform at least once a day, or just never taking the headset.
You can talk so much shit on VR chat. In real life, I'm so awkward. I think I'm the opposite, genuinely.
Off. And with things like VR chat jobs now, where some of the group...
I find it very easy to talk to people in person, but then, like, doing it in, you know, like in an online setting.
Groups pay people to moderate their instances. Some of them may never need to take that headset off. Viewing and treating VR chat equivalent to real life. Some even sleeping and eating in VR chat. Personally, with all my hours in VR chat, I have seen this happen
myself
countless times.
I've made way too many promises tonight, man.
This game is unknowingly addictive, and it gets worse, because it also enables other addictions, mainly those involving alcohol and drugs, as also seen in...
Has he got like Halo ODST music playing, like really emotional music, and then it's just Tails hitting a bong?
The Verum and Branham FM video. Over a third take part in the drinking and drug culture of VR chat, where there are groups and instances with parties happening constantly. and some drinking almost daily because of the influence of people in VRchat or VRchat itself. I even managed to
It's actually just like a party that just never stops as well, which is very dangerous.
get in contact with someone on Discord who's a popular VRchat content creator and face of VRchat themselves, who because of VRchat and its drinking and drug culture found it hard to quit both and are still struggling with it. They mainly blamed the culture itself and the groups within VRchat that enable and influence it, but at their request I will not be involving their name. And it doesn't stop at drinking or drugs, as virtual prostitution has become normalized in VRchat and is fairly
Val
easy
is
to
the
find. There
trans
are
girl
people
that licks Blake's face in Outlast 2 and she constantly goes after him for his D. You remind me of her cause you literally look like her.
I don't look like
her
Val. I know who you're on about now. I don't look like Val.
God doesn't love you. Not like I do.
I don't look like her at all. That doesn't... No. She's innocent? I don't think so. Also, that character was so underutilized, by the way. She appeared in the game for like 5 minutes, man. She was in like a 30-second cutscene in the beginning, and then she appears at the very end. She was so underutilized. How? Nah. That doesn't... No. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make... I don't look like her. Does not... Okay, that one. With the hair, look... Okay. No, dude, I feel like I'm doing that Leafy thing. You know where Leafy was saying, like, I look like an anime character, what the fuck? It's like, no, you don't look that good, bro. Stop glazing yourself. Yeah, they really underutilized her character. Like, it's so disappointing.
people offering it in public worlds, there are groups for it and Discord servers, and unfortunately, it's quite profitable, either getting paid to do NSFW acts or just sit with somebody for an hour. And this is the
They do the same thing in Japan. Like, you can hire out women that just sit with you. Like, there's no Riz or anything. It's just like it's like a companion.
unfortunate reality of VRchat that when you start the game up for the first time, nobody tells you about, because there is nothing like VRchat. Except Second Life, but that's a rabbit hole in itself. There is nothing to...
We don't want to get into that.
...relate it to, there is nothing to use as a benchmark. And the game is constantly getting more complex, and quality of life within the game is constantly increasing. And I think from the result of people already treating it like it has real life qualities, it's only going to become more immersive, and more people and more problems are going to come along with it. With it being in the top 20...
I hope that didn't say what I just thought it said.
5 for Steam players, even though it released on Steam in 2017, with 40,000 people being constantly active on the Steam platform. That is just on the Steam platform, by the way, showing there is no shortage of players. I think that is evidence enough.
Fucked up.
God! What a up day!
Now I know I've made numerous videos showing the bad side of VRchat, and constantly make jokes about it, but like a League of Legends player that constantly talks shit about the game and blames Riot for their terrible matches, but 5 minutes later will queue for another game, because not to get cheesy or anything, don't start crying you little bitch. I love VRchat. That almost feels like arsenic in my mouth saying, it's definitely not one of my favourite games because, one, it's not a game, it's an experience, and that place in my heart.
There's a big boobied avatar of your persona in VRchat. I'm serious. That doesn't surprise me at all, honestly.
That already goes to Final Fantasy.
Someone made a TV head character of, they made my TV head character and they put it in VRchat. The model looked pretty cool.
Fantasy 15, Serious Sam, Halo Reach, and the 2016 to 2020 days of Overwatch 1. But I've made so many good friends and memories in VRchat, and worlds like Murder 2, Midnight Rooftop, Presentation Room, The Great Pug, Never Have I Ever, and the very old Rest and Sleep are all places that I have memories in. And even though I'm not playing it as much as I did before, I still log in every now and again, because once again, VRchat is something else. And I think if you don't take the game too seriously, and actually play it in moderation, and you find a group of people you actually enjoy talking.
Again, I've mentioned this before. I know furries that like play VRchat, but they don't chronically live on it online. They just, you know, maybe they'll spend a couple hours a day or like a week or something. And I think that's so much more healthy than just living on the game. But again, like some people are like socially crippled and stuff, right? Like they need it. They sleep in calls and stuff like that. Like, and again, it's like, you know, if you're not hurting anyone, There's not really much of an issue there, I don't think.
Complete degenerates and actually have your best interest in mind, which may be scarce on the platform as of today, but if you've...
It's not something I do personally, but I totally understand if it helps you and you're not hurting anyone, then yeah, like, who cares?
Find that, I think you're truly gonna have a good time.
A couple of hours a day? Yeah, like, a couple of hours a day, like 2 to 3 hours. What's wrong with that? You finish work for the day, you get on VRchat, what's wrong with that?
Time on that game. Just once.
Dude, I don't even want to know how many hours I have on Steam. Like, if I'm not recording a video or streaming, I'm usually gaming. I probably have degenerate hours, but it looks normal because it's spread across so many different games.
To find that group of friends, never go into a public lobby once again. But yeah, that's
24-hour a day VRchat session. Now that's when it's a problem.
all I had to say, and bye-bye.